Coach Linda, and this is Glimpses of Destiny. And yesterday we talked about what is my pain. We talked about the day before removing the boundaries, and then on Monday we talked about getting started. And so today we're going to talk about what is the resolution, because I believe that if you set in your mind to get started, which means nothing's going to be perfect. There's not going to be a perfect time for you to start. But if you're going to live your best life now, if you're going to live who you were destined to be, if you're going to be all that you can be, as the Army used to say, you want to start now. You don't want to wait until everything is lined up and all the ducks are in a row, because we all know that that's not the world we live in. Something's always going to come up and something's always going to try to hinder you. Thus, we had to remove our boundaries. We had to remove our limitations. We had to understand that climbing every mountain is the only way to make sure that you go from victory to victory, to make sure that you're progressing and moving forward. And so, in that, you had to really explore what your pain is, what was really stopping you from moving forward, what was really hindering you. So hopefully yesterday you journaled that. I told you to go out and get a journal and start journaling what is my pain, because again, you should have a journal anyway, because you should probably be taking notes while you're listening in your journal. Yeah, just saying. I'm just saying. um so you've already started journaling out, and some of it may be a process. You may have to work on that a little bit, little by little, but you're finding things out about you, about what you do to you, okay? Not what others do to you, but what you're doing to you. Because at the foundation of it all, we are our worst enemy. I'm my worst enemy, you're your worst enemy. No one outside of you can really dictate to you how you're going to live your life unless you give them the power to do so. And so we've journaled what is my pain? What's really stopping me? What's really keeping me right here? And so today we want to talk about what is the resolution, because once you start to realize what your pain is, you got to come up with the resolution. I didn't say solution, because if you have the solution, it wouldn't be a problem in the first place, right? But we need to come up with the resolution. And when you think about resolution, you think about New Year's resolutions. And at the beginning of the year, or at the end of the year, I should say, before the beginning of the year comes, some of us, we say, okay, these are the things I want to accomplish next year. My New Year's resolution is 1, 2, 3, 4. We have like a list of things, and then by the middle of the year, if we really go back and review our list of resolutions, we haven't accomplished them, or we're not working towards them, or we started off real good and we kind of let them go by. So we're not talking about resolution in that sense. We're talking about what is the resolve of my pain. What will heal it? What will take it away? What will absolutely fix it so it's not a problem anymore? And so I encourage you to go to the dictionary. And I'm not saying you don't know the meaning of resolution, but go to the dictionary and reacquaint yourself with that meaning. Because what I find is that sometimes when we look at a meaning, it has three or four meanings, and we only really use one of the meanings in our lives. So when we use that word, we're only really thinking about it in one aspect of the word. But we need to see resolution in its whole glory, in all of its fullness. So I ask you just to go and look it up, and I could easily tell you, but then you wouldn't take the time to look it up for yourself. And I think that's the problem with most of us, is that we want someone to hand us something and we don't want to do the work ourselves. And so I'm the coach, and I see the potential on the inside of you, and I'm going to help you pull that potential out of you. So I'm not going to hand you anything. I'm not going to spoon feed you anything. You're going to have to work for it. But I guarantee if you go look up the meaning of it, it may enlighten you in another way for that word. And then you want to find the resolution. And remember, the resolution is going to come from you doing research. It's not something that's going to come from the inside of you. You're going to have to research this out. You're going to have to look at what others are doing that is similar to what you're trying to accomplish, and see how they overcame their obstacles, and see how they overcame their hindrances. And then what you do is you take it back and you say, okay, now how do I apply these principles to my life? How do I apply these principles to what I'm trying to do? Because what we'll find is a lot of times we're trying to create something that's already been created. We're trying to reinvent the wheel, if you will. And so what I'm trying to get us to understand is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is take what's out there, what's available to you, what's out there already in the universe. Take that and bring it into your life and apply it to your life. Don't just read it and say, oh, well, that's wonderful. They made it that way. Okay. No, actually apply it to your life. You know, so many of us, we read things and we don't actually, especially when we read autobiographies or inspiring books or, you know, coaching books and things of that nature. We get these coaching programs and we don't apply the actual principles that they're teaching us. And so when we say something isn't working, it's not that the program doesn't work. It's we didn't work the program. And so it's not that the resolutions out there don't work. It's we are not applying the resolutions to our life. We are, making that list of resolutions and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna lose weight. I'm going to read more. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to eat healthier. We're saying all of these things, but we're not applying them. We're not doing what we say we're going to do. And so when at the end of the year, we're still at the same weight, or we're still eating the same way, or we haven't begun a exercise regimen, we want to say that, oh, well, it didn't work. No, it did work. You didn't work it. So that's what resolution is all about. We got to learn to work it, to apply it, to make things practical in our lives and make them hands-on and do it. Do it. Okay? That's the only way you're going to get it done, is to do it. Just do it, like Nike said. Just do it. There's nothing outside of that. There's nothing outside of that. So we're learning how to get started. We're learning that we need to take a step. We need to move. We got to do something. We got to be about our business. We're also learning that we don't have to limit ourselves. We don't have to put up boundaries that are limiting boundaries. Now, you want to put up boundaries that keep you from bleeding into other areas where you don't belong, but you don't want to limit yourself from being who you are and truly embracing that. You want to understand what your pain is. You want to understand that, there are some things in your life that's there, and they are there because you are not changing. And if you change, that pain is going to resolve, which brings us into today's lecture or conversation, whatever you want to call this. That we have to find the resolve. What is the resolve? So again, what I want you to do is, if you didn't do yesterday's work, now you're a day behind. So do yesterday's, what is my pain, and then come and do today's. What is the resolution? Which means that you're going to have to start to research and find out what is available to help you subside that pain, to help you release that pain, to help you get rid of that pain in your life, so you can make that transition into where you are to where you want to be. Be blessed, be encouraged. Remember, only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. Until tomorrow.